Hello everybody, Ollamh here, and welcome back to The Lost Cases of Sherlock Holmes. Today's episode is The Death Card Devil. Still continuing on with a little bit of alliteration, not too much though. So let's jump into it and see what it has to tell us. When the great detective faces the supernatural, danger is in the cards.
Miss Jackson, I understand that you're an American journalist and, what was that again?
A spook spoiler. I'm researching a New York Times feature, one that shall expose the tricks and schemes that phony spiritualists use to exploit the public's fascination with the supernatural. Seances and phantoms and all that rubbish.
I have no interest in such things myself, so why come to me?
2 nights ago, I was writing in my room up on the 4th floor of the Whittington boarding house in Russell Square. Suddenly, my window flew open and in leapt a short and devilish creature, glowing an unearthly green and accompanied by a cloud of foul smoke.
Indeed.
It leapt onto my writing desk, snatched my manuscript, and dropped a single tarot card, the death card. It then returned to the window and disappeared, even though there's a 4-floor drop to the cobblestones below.
Might you've been dreaming? A woman with a writer's imagination.
I was as alert as I am here before you. Not only did the experience frighten me, but the death card is obviously a threat of some sinister nature.
It sounds like some sort of demonic visitation. Superstitious twaddle, isn't it, Holmes?
No mere superstition in this instance. Who or what is threatening you, and why, Miss Jackson? You said the Whittington board house, 4th floor, correct? Dr. Watson and I shall accompany you there.
Alright, so, spookiness abounds. Let's see here. Okay, so spot the difference. There's a card. Your death card warning, I see. Holmes, there's... Your death card warning, I see. Holmes, there are many such decks, each different from any other. It might be useful to discover which tarot deck originated this particular card. Observe, the bottom portion of the card seems to be missing. Well, that's suspicious indeed. There's our hat. Glowing claw marks. The creature was ghastly. It couldn't have been more than 3 feet tall and moved unlike any being I've ever seen. In my experience, it's not supernatural beings that leave behind luminous residue. Envelope. Another envelope. And another envelope. Those are invitations to a seance from one of my interview subjects, Mr. Gerald Malis? He rents the room directly above mine. He owns an occult specialty shop near Covent Garden. An odd, mousy little man. With a monkey? Okay, so there's evil eyes about the place. Interesting. So yeah, he lives right above her, which is, again, pretty suspicious. And he sent her 3 invitations? That's a lot of invitations, dude. If she's gonna come, she'll come. Otherwise, just relax. Key. Mr. Spade, the landlord, gave me those keys when he changed my door lock. He would love nothing more than for me to write a sensational story about the encounter. He could then double the price of any room visited by the terrorizing devil beast. Fair enough. Those evil eyes? Blame Brother Stark, the half-crazed street preacher who lives in the room beneath. He painted that evil eye during a visit 2 days ago, after he warned me against meddling in the black arts, as he put it. So everybody kind of lives fairly close to him. There's something oddly intriguing about this poster. Watson, let's have a closer look, shall we? Alright, so just one more mask and there it is. I've seen this fellow on the stage, a mediocre stage magician. Now moved to the occult arts, I see. No doubt the pay is better. And where does he live? So I need 2 more black roses. But on which layer are they? Looks like they may be on the upper layer. Or at least that one was. I'm not entirely sure that they're all on the same layer, because that would make things a little bit too simplistic. Yep, there we go. Those black roses are an unstable message from Mr. Thomas Latimer, one of London's most dashing yet impulsive journalists. He asked me to marry him. I refused. He did not take it well. Miss Jackson, the seance in the room above yours? This invitation says that you may bring guests to witness the great Carswell in person. Would the great Sherlock Holmes and I do? All right. So, handbag. There's the newspapers. I see you have copies of your newspaper, Miss Jackson. Either the demon was real or it was an impostor with a purpose as yet unknown. But a third possibility presents itself. You fabricated the entire encounter in order to meet me. No doubt your newspaper would pay well for an interview. Alright, banana peel, right. And yeah, so this guy has a monkey. Those handbags belong to Lady Alice Porter, wife of millionaire Sir Edmund Porter. She follows the great Carswell to all of his seances. So yeah, the whole idea of there being a monkey here does kind of put a question mark in as to what, you know, what that demon was. The top hat and cane must belong to Carswell's royal advisee, Sir Edmund Porter. I hear Sir Edmund pays him handsomely for his spiritual guidance. Right. Okay, there's the banana. It appears that some sort of animal has been kept in here. What would a medium want with a caged creature? Fair question. Very fair question. Okay, a demon face. Is that a oh, there, nope, there it is. Holmes, a glowing creature, foul smoke, and can leap to 4th floor windows. Perhaps this time we must accept that the supernatural being is authentic. Not when you have a monkey that can climb down 1 floor. And when she's looking down, it's climbing up. Alright, so a pair of scissors. It would be helpful to examine the contents of this trash more carefully. Apparently, someone was trying to destroy this tarot deck. Okay, so I need to assemble... I need to assemble everything here. Okay. Okay, that would be the Emperor, I would imagine. So now I need the middle of the Emperor, which would be that one. Let's see here. You would be the Magician? Yes. The Hermit. The Empress. You know what? We'll wait on that one. The Hanged Man. Knight of Cups, Devil, aha, and the bottom of the Death card is here. Suspicious indeed. The Death card that the apparition left as a warning to you. May I see it, please? Just as I suspected, this remaining piece matches perfectly. So we still need 1 bell and a hook. Alright, there's the hook. The bell... I'm just not seeing. Ah, there it is. Mrs. Agatha Riley always brings a bell to these things. She claims it attracts the spirits. I think we have enough to formulate exactly what happened.
Magnificent!
At least somebody appreciates me. Now let's find out who did what. Okay, think I've got it.
Righto.
There was no teapot.
That's it. Righto. Yes. Yes. That's it. That's it. Nice work.
The Magician.
The so-called demon was in fact an assistant to the great Carswell. I suspected an experienced stage magician when I saw the cunning compound of phosphorus that left glowing stains.
And that foul-smelling smoke is a common magician's trick, to confound the viewer and obscure the trickery.
After his friend Mr. Males told Carswell about the exposé Miss Jackson was writing, Carswell disguised his trained pet monkey as the glowing devilish horror. He then sent it to her room to steal her manuscript and frighten her off the story.
My article would reveal the tricks used by so-called mediums like Mr. Carswell, whose bank account has fattened considerably thanks to the likes of Lady Alice Porter and her millionaire husband.
I saw Carswell's last stage show. In a desperate attempt to save his legitimate career, he had added a macaque to his act. Truly, it was hard to discern who was the master on stage, the magician or the monkey.
But the monkey came through my 4th floor window. How did he ascend to such a height?
He didn't. Carswell merely lowered the beast down on a rope attached to the hook above Mr. Male's window. The odorous smoke helped hide its climb back up to the room above yours. One more thing before we leave you, Miss Jackson. Here is your manuscript, complete and undamaged. I found it in Mr. Male's room. I suggest you deliver it to your newspaper at the earliest opportunity. Congratulations!
Why, thank you. So yeah, that was pretty easy to figure out from the beginning because it kind of borrows from some of the previous stuff, from some of the actual stories of Sherlock Holmes. Like the Hound of the Baskervilles was with the phosphorus animal. There's a lot of them like that, that just kind of, it borrows a few things here and there. Almost kind of like that Star Trek, like the Star Trek episode where Geordi's trying to befound Data as far as the holodeck in Sherlock Holmes, and he's like, oh, but this is from that story, and that's from this story, and everything like that. So, yeah, this one was kind of easy to figure out. Anyway, next time we'll be on with the next case. Until then, as always, thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to prod the subscribe button down below so that you can stay tuned for more from Ollamh Productions.
If you wanna see some
Cheerio!
crazy and also lazy, then you should meet me and my friends. Even though we got no money, for sure it's
Oh,
money.
this is not, I don't think this is what she had in mind for using her lucky scarf.
Also, the next generation gave way to the idea of a touchscreen, where the menus change depending on what you select.